Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to another video. And a lot of you guys wanted me to give my opinion on Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue, and rather than doing some kind of formal review kind of thing, what I wanted to do is just kind of give you guys my opinions on different things in the games, and basically do a part 2 to the Assassin's Creed Rogue versus Assassin's Creed Unity video that I made earlier before the games were released, based on the trailers. And now the games are out, I want to give you guys my full opinion on whether I think Assassin's Creed Rogue is better or Assassin's Creed Unity is better. So, let's get into this. So, among all the bad things that were experienced with Assassin's Creed Unity, so, you know, like the frame rate, the bugs, the stealth not working, the game is generally good. The graphics are nice, at least this isn't Watch Dogs, is something that you gotta remember. The resolution on console wasn't a huge problem for me because I don't tend to worry too much about the resolution, but obviously for some people they're probably like, why couldn't it have been 1080p? Why are we gonna have it at 900p? This frickin' sucks, considering it was actually available to run at 1080p on the PlayStation, but they dropped it down just because the Xbox couldn't do it. That was a huge problem that happened a little while ago, so I'm not going to go too deep into that, but the resolution didn't bother me too much. The biggest problems for this game were actually on the PC. Now, this isn't exactly a huge sort of surprise, considering this is a Ubisoft game, and they're not the greatest at porting games from the console to the PC. It's been a history with Ubisoft, and this game, it has been the worst. There was a huge amount of bugs on the PC, and the frame rate dropping to 12 in most areas of the game, and the requirements for this game on PC were ridiculous. If you didn't have yourself a £2,000 PC, you were not going to be able to play this game on anything higher than possibly high settings. You are not reaching Ultra unless you're freaking loaded with money. Overall, however, this was a good game after the patches were brought out. The game honestly is really, really good. Where it was lacking in story, it more than made up for with its gameplay. However, it wasn't quite enough after a while. No amount of gameplay can make up for the ending of the game, which felt extremely lacking in a lot of different ways. And it didn't really give me any reason to want to continue playing it or go and do any of the side quests. It was kind of like, well, now what? There's no need, there's no point. It doesn't really lead me anywhere. It's not like there's going to be a sequel, whereas with the Ezio trilogy, it's kind of like, you know something's going to happen next. What the hell could happen next? Come on, we want to build up Ezio. You know, do that kind of thing. Renovate Rome, renovate the villa, renovate Constantinople. And with this game, you didn't really feel that need to do it. The co-op's there, but it's really lacking. It's really boring. It's really unnecessary. It's definitely better than Watch Dogs, but they could have done a hell of a lot of a better job with this game. And honestly, there's a lot of bad things I can say about this game, and not that many good things. It's good in what it's good at, but they haven't improved in any way. They've basically changed some of the mechanics and added a huge amount of problems. Now you probably think, James, you're just talking about all of the bad things. What about all the good things? What about the brand new mechanics, the brand new stealth, the brand new character? What about all that kind of stuff? Well, from a technical standpoint, this game really isn't that tremendous. I mean, they've added in all these new features with the brand new engine, but it isn't that great, and a lot of it doesn't even seem to work. When you look at the old games, however, so Assassin's Creed 1, they created this new engine, which they built Assassin's Creed on. It was a pretty good game, but it wasn't fantastic. They then made Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations on the same engine, which was improving upon the original engine, and it was really, really, really good. Then, they made Assassin's Creed 3 on a new engine, and it wasn't that great. Then they made AC4 on the same engine and improved and made a really, really good game. Now, could this be the same with Unity? You have brought out this new game, Assassin's Creed Unity, on a brand new engine. Now, will Assassin's Creed Victory take this engine and make a really good game like we've seen in the past from other Assassin's Creed games? Can't really say much now until the game is released, because this game, Assassin's Creed Unity, had so much potential to be an amazing game, and it just didn't quite deliver, in my opinion. However, a lot of the things in this game are actually really, really, really good, including the customization. However, a lot of the different outfits I really didn't want to wear because they looked ridiculous. However, you normally find that the stats are like, this item is really, really good, and then you put it on and it's like, wow, this looks terrible. And I tend to go for aesthetics more than kind of this makes you have like 5-star stealth, but it looks like a shitty little floppy thing. What is that floppy hood all about? Seriously, who came up with that? Like, it's got the best stealth rating, but it looks shit. You know, that kind of thing. But a lot of the weapons were really, really cool. I love the inclusion of, like, you know, the spears, the huge axes, things like that. The weapons were really, really cool and definitely improved from other games. That was one of the things that I really, really liked. As well as the combat, I think that was a lot better as well. A lot of the mechanics were better, but the way they were executed weren't quite as well as they could have been executed, and hopefully we'll see a great improvement in Assassin's Creed Victory. So in total, I'd say I would give this game probably like a 7 out of 10, because it is really, really good, but it's lacking in story, and a lot of the content is there. but you don't feel a need to play it because of the story being so dry, and not quite as dry as Assassin's Creed 3, but it just didn't feel as, oh my god, here's a huge twist kind of thing. It's just kind of like, well, that was pointless. And it's really, really short too. You think, oh, it's got 12 sequences, it's longer than Rogue. You could probably complete both in the same time, because Rogue has probably about 5 memories to a sequence. This game probably has 2 or 3 memories to a sequence, and it is really, really, really short. I managed to complete it in 17 parts, whereas with Assassin's Creed 4, I finished that in about 40 parts. So you can kind of see the difference there in the length of the game and the length of the story and what could possibly be included. So honestly, this game probably about a 7 out of 10. So I'm going to move on to Rogue now, and we'll talk about what that did good, what that did bad, and I'll compare them both at the end of the video. So Assassin's Creed Rogue, a lot of people would say in a lot of ways is better than Unity. Definitely the story aspect of Rogue is far, far better. When looking at the engine and things Unity had in the game, obviously Rogue is nowhere near as good. However, Unity couldn't pull a lot of these things off, whereas Rogue, what it had, even though it wasn't as new and unique as Unity, it did them amazingly compared to Unity, which fucked a lot of the new things up, because they had all of these like brand new features, brand new mechanics, brand new systems, and they couldn't deliver on any of them because the game was so broken when it was released. Whereas Assassin's Creed Rogue, everything in it ran perfectly. It was like an upgraded version of Assassin's Creed 4, and definitely focused heavily on the Assassins versus Templar story, which was amazing in Rogue. Honestly, that entire game was so much fun to play, and I loved everything about it. Rogue, there's nothing bad I can say about Rogue, because even though it wasn't as new, I wasn't expecting it to be new. I wasn't expecting all of this amazing stuff from the game. Honestly, with Rogue, I expected it to be bad because of how good I expected Unity to be, and when I got them both, I expected Unity to be amazing, and it wasn't, and I expected Rogue to be bad, and it wasn't. It was such a good game, and honestly, if I had to choose which one I would play again now, between Unity and Rogue, I would definitely replay Rogue, because it was so much fun to play, and it is packed with so much side content that you want to go and do. You want to go and explore these areas, because the game doesn't force you into these areas. The game says, here's the mission, go here. When you finish the main story, there's all these areas that the game hasn't told you to go and explore, so you can go off, you can go and explore all these different areas, these uncharted islands, all of these, like, you know, the jungle kind of areas, the little villages. You can go and get all these little quests, you can get these side sort of outfits and stuff that you can go and collect. You have to look at the maps, you have to go like not fishing, what is it called, harpooning and stuff like that, and it's so much fun. A lot of it was in Assassin's Creed 4, but there's no need to change it, because it was honestly such an amazing game for that sandbox feeling, which was what Assassin's Creed 4 had. However, it was lacking in story. But Assassin's Creed Rogue took all of those good gameplay elements, which were amazing, put them into Rogue, which is so much fun, and then topped it off with a fantastic story. So Rogue is probably in my top 5 Assassin's Creed games that have been created, because it is such an amazing game in so many ways. And Rogue, just, if I was to say buy Unity or buy Rogue, I would say buy Rogue, and that is why me and Luke are doing a 24-hour live stream on Rogue and not Unity on the 19th of December. Link in the description, by the way. You can find out more information about that and why we're doing a little charity stream. Not a little charity, it's a long charity stream. But that is, I would say my final verdict for Assassin's Creed Rogue is probably a 9 out of 10. The only thing that Rogue probably could have done would be to improve the visuals, animations, things like that. But obviously they couldn't pull that off on the previous gen, which is why maybe a next-gen port would have been cool to see the improved visuals, improved animations, rather than it being a complete copy and paste visually, in a way, of Assassin's Creed 4. Although, that doesn't bother me, really doesn't bother me, because the game is absolutely amazing, and I would play it again in a heartbeat. So I would say, out of the two, comparing them both, at this point, you guys have been asking me for ages, which one do I think is better? Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Unity, and my final verdict would be to say that, in my opinion, Assassin's Creed Rogue wins hands down in this situation, because everything about Rogue was better than Unity. Everything that Unity has that Rogue doesn't have, wasn't even that great. Like the co-op, like the new side quests, like the customization, it's completely unnecessary. I much prefer how Rogue is, and I know it was probably a risk to add all those different things into Unity, but I really don't think they were needed. Honestly, I was like, holy shit, yeah, customization and stuff like that, but now I would be happy with how it was in AC2 through Revelations, with just the different bits of armor, possibly a few different outfits. That is far more better, because it feels like you're playing as the assassin, rather than you are you know, customizing your Arno. Like, I honestly didn't like that. I didn't like that kind of feeling that it wasn't as linear, it was far more open and RPG. Like, a lot of people might like that, but with Assassin's Creed, I think what you need is to focus on the story and less what the player wants to choose to do, other than the way the missions are structured. So with Unity, how it had the different sort of like black box missions where you'd have a certain objective, like complete however you want. I loved that about the game. That is the one thing that I freaking loved about Unity, and I think they need to carry that over to Victory, lose a lot of the customization, so maybe keep it a lot more linear customization. However, you can kind of choose, like, you know, colors, different armors and things like that, but you keep the same generic outfit, because I think that's a big part of Assassin's Creed, having, you know, the iconic Altair outfit, the iconic Ezio outfit, the iconic Connor, Edward. Whereas then with Arno, how are you going to implement that into another game? Because you could always have the default one, but that wasn't Arno's robes, like, you know, I guess the Master Assassin ones, but I much preferred the other Assassin's Creed games, and Unity just really wasn't up to par, and even playing as a Templar in Rogue was far better than Unity, and I would honestly finish by saying that Unity is not as good as Rogue, and Rogue was a better game this year. Got to see what's going to come with Assassin's Creed Victory, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel for Assassin's Creed Victory information as I get it, and I'll let you guys know what's going down with that game. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little review comparison thing that I have got going on here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Crowds charge over the hills, but the city's had enough. But if we turn and fight, does it almost feel like we will never fall? And if we unite, we can take this fight straight to the castle wall.